Photo editing, the great dilemma. Is it cheating or creating? Some say that photo editing was sent from the bowels of hell to destroy photography. Some say that a photo should record what was there and nothing else. But then again, they are probably the same photographers who love film and have been reluctantly dragged, kicking and streaming, into the 21st century of digital cameras. So are they right? Is photo editing cheating? Or is it simply another creative tool that we should embrace? Well, let's rewind. Photographers started with plate cameras, didn't they? They took off the lens cap, they counted, they replaced the lens cap, and there you have it, an exposed piece of film with just the light that was at the scene. They recorded just what was there. Then they invented flash powder, then flash bulbs, and now electronic flash, which adds a burst of bright artificial light, thus producing more detail to record. It fills in the shadows, and wait a minute, they're not recording exactly what's there, are they? They're using technology to artificially change the image, and they've been doing that for 100 years. In the darkroom, they dodge and they burn their way to the perfect exposure. Victorian portrait photographers even used screens with scenes painted on them. And then there was film stock. Some of it was neutral so that you could record as accurately as possible, but some was colour saturated to beef up landscapes. Some was grainy to give effect, and some was soft to give flattering skin tones. And then there were filters, graduated skies, polarizers to avoid reflections, neutral density for long time exposures, starbursts, warm tones, colour balance. Hang on, you can see where I'm going here, can't you? We've been creating manipulated film images for decades, haven't we? Modern cameras allow you to change things like colour temperature, light sensitivity, you can add flash, smooth skins, all sorts of things, and surely photo editing is just an extension of that. It's the ability to adjust light levels, colour balance, graduate tones. Yeah, I get it, same as we did with film, right? So, it's all just the same, isn't it? Well, no. And there's the rub. Because if photo editing had stopped there, I don't think it would be a problem. I don't think there'd be any argument. But the editing software didn't stop there. It became more and more powerful. And now it's grown into some sort of mythical monster that can change everything. It can create something that doesn't even exist. It can create something that's physically impossible. It can float me around in space. It can put me on the moon or under the sea. All good fun. But this is now starting to overstep the photography line, I think. For me, there's an imaginary line on your keyboard. And when you step over it, when you over-manipulate the image, you step from photography into graphic design. So where is that line? What are the rules? Give me the website, I'll look them up. Thing is, they're not written down because it's up to you to know how far to push it. You can go to your parameters of photography. You're the deciding factor. And that line is going to be in a different place for every photographer. With my own creative photography, I place the line quite loosely on time-saving effects. That's to say, if it's a flat light, I could come back on another day, but I don't. Instead, I choose to edit the light to what I want it to be. If I'm shooting for a client and it's a building and there's a bin in the way of that building, I'll paint the bin out. My client isn't interested in the bin, they just want the picture of the building, don't they? But there is one place that I think photographers should not be doing any extreme manipulation, and that is photojournalism. Because if you're reporting a fact to a viewer, then don't you have a moral obligation to present that fact accurately? The photographer here has no right to create something that never happened. And that goes for social documentary photography too. If you've accepted the responsibility of being the eyes of the world, well, that comes with a set of values. And so manipulating images in a way that changes accuracy, in my eyes, is just not acceptable. In my opinion, I think that we have to accept that photo editing goes hand in hand with digital image capture. It's a tool that we can use, artistic license if you like. If a painter saw a fantastic landscape and there was a telegraph pole right in the middle, they'd probably choose not to put the telegraph pole in the painting. Then it stands to reason that a creative photographer would pretty much do the same. I'd say that if you're not experienced in photo editing, you should definitely start learning right now. And I'd encourage any budding photographer to learn photographic technique and photo editing hand in hand, side by side, at the same time. Don't let either of them become too dominant. Use the editing techniques to improve the photograph, but not to overpower it. For me, it's not a case of choosing one or the other. Treat them as allies, not enemies. Learn to control them in harmony. If you embrace photo editing, it's going to help you create better images. Now, if you'd like to see me actually talking through editing some images, check out my Joy of Photography playlist, which I'll put on the screen now.